Hi everyone, I'm Shauna and welcome to my channel. Today's video is an empties video. I really love filming these, and in 2021 I'm doing them about every 3-ish months. Kind of right now I guess every 3.5. So I have a whole new set of products here to talk about, the usual mix of body and hair care, skincare, and then actually quite a few makeup items as well. So I'm gonna start with the skincare first. All the prices are going to be on the screen in case you're curious, and this is an estimated total. The first product I want to talk about is actually the oldest for this round, and it is this Wildcraft makeup remover. Wildcraft is a small, independently owned, Toronto-based brand, and I was really excited to support them, which is why I decided to buy this product. I finished this probably around March or April, like shortly after I filmed my previous video. And this is not a product that I love or would repurchase. And it's really about texture and about smell. I really dislike the smell of this product. It was not pleasant to use. And even after all the months of use, I did get a little bit used to it, but it did not make the experience enjoyable. In fact, it probably detracted a little bit from the experience. And for the consistency, when I'm using, I'm just gonna put that down. When I'm using a cleansing oil, my preference is for something a little bit thicker. So when you either like pump it out or squirt it out, whatever the case is, that it will hold in your hand and then you can apply it. This product was very runny, so I found it kind of like slipping through my fingers, and there was actually a ton of waste with this product just because of the consistency of the product and then how like the mechanism of dispensing it. You have to like completely you have to pour it upside down in order to get product in it because there's that little like hole there. Opposed to, let's say, a pump, I can understand why a pump was not used for this product because at least my understanding would be that you can't recycle pumps, so it's more eco-friendly, and this bottle is glass. It's not something I would repurchase, but also not something I want to harp on because it is a small Canadian brand, and there could be products that are better from this brand, and maybe I'll try some in the future, but that just wasn't one for me. I'll also talk about something I finished pretty early on, is this Cocoon Apothecary Orange Blossom Face Cream. It's in this amber jar, and I finished this in May, I believe. I'm going to keep the jar because I think amber jars are really beautiful, and I would like to reuse the packaging. This is also a small Canadian-owned brand, and that's why I purchased it. I can't remember the price, but it will be on the screen. And this was not one I liked either because it wasn't moisturizing enough. I do have oily skin, so I typically, for a daytime moisturizer, prefer something more lightweight or even a gel consistency. And this was lightweight, but it was too lightweight. And even in the summer, when I get my oiliest and maybe I'm looking for the kind of formula that is maybe the more mattifying of the year, or that's, I guess, the time of year where I would prefer the most mattifying product, it wasn't it for me. It was too dry all year round and didn't provide enough moisturization. Now let's talk about a sunscreen. This is the Think Sport sunscreen. This has 59 mils. I got this off well.ca, and it had a tint, which I'm sure you could probably tell from the cap. The tint on this really wasn't great, and it kind of it just didn't work for my skin, and you could always tell I had a sunscreen on whenever I used it. So the tint wasn't right, but that wasn't my biggest gripe with this product. I really disliked this consistency. It never had any dry down or mattification. Not every sunscreen needs that, but this just remained kind of tacky and greasy right from the application, and it just worsened over time. If I wore this under makeup, it made my makeup wear pretty badly because, again, it had that super glowy, basically greasiness, so my makeup wore off quicker. And when I wasn't wearing makeup, my skin just was extra greasy. You could visibly go like this to my face, and my oils would come off. Same thing with my makeup. I really dislike this product, and it is a mineral-based sunscreen. It was 20% zinc oxide. I had been trying to opt for zinc oxide formulas because from my understanding, these are the ones that are kind of like, that are the most likely to be reef safe. I'm now needing to do some more research on that because I'm hearing some mixed reports on if sunscreen can be reef safe, period. I know there's some ingredients that are considered to be hazardous to the coral reef, but now I'm not too sure if that research stands. Again, I have to do some more research on it. I would not repurchase this brand. And every year, well.ca has this kind of big like sunscreen edit, and it's a really big feature on their website, and ThinkSport is always one of these top brands that's featured every year. And I bought it because it had such great reviews, and sunscreen formulas are super personal. So I guess this just like isn't the formula for me, and probably better if you have drier skin. I have a couple of serums I guess I'll talk about together. I have this Ren Evercalm serum. This was in a project pan, and it's an anti-redness serum. I also had this vitamin C serum from Alia Skin, and then this niacinamide serum from The Ordinary. Now I'm talking about them all together because there are various price points and they're all in like that serum category. The Evercalm redness serum was about $60, and I know I got it on a Sephora sale, but I don't know how much I paid for it. I did not really notice any anti-redness effects on here, so I wouldn't repurchase this. And I actually did use this regularly for months, and so despite its high price tag, I didn't notice anything. As for these two, I talked about this previously, that in the past when I've had too many serums on the go, I'll like kind of switch between them and I won't regularly use them. And then I don't know how I feel about them. These two I did regularly use. The vitamin C serum from Alia Skin was one that the company sent me, and I have finished, and I said I would share my thoughts. I do like vitamin C, and I feel like it does something good for my skin. However, I currently have a vitamin C product already, so that's why I'm not replacing this. If you've been watching my no-buy updates, or at least my most recent one, you'll have an idea of the kind of budget I have for skincare right now. And this one was about $40. And while I didn't pay for it the first time I got it, if I want to repurchase, then I will. And I said when I first got this that this is a product I would probably repurchase. I do currently have a vitamin C product right now that I'm using that was sent to me in a cause box. And so I have, I guess, two options that I can weigh against each other to see like which one do I like more. I do think that if there's a place to spend money, it would be a serum in a skincare routine. The serum for me is one that's going to have the most active and targeted ingredients, so I would spend a little bit more money for a serum. And so now I have, I guess, the luxury of comparing two vitamin C serums together, which is really nice. So I think this is the one that I might pick, but I want to continue using the one that I already have before making that kind of decision. I find that in my empties, I'm often talking about products that I don't like. And it was actually Lara Loves Makeup who cemented this idea for me that there's a lot of years of experimenting and just trying to try adds up, and you can really see that in the empties where you have a lot of products that you either bought on whims or to try, and now it's all coming together and you finally have to use those items. But there's also areas in my collection that I like to experiment with. And for a while, like in 2020, I probably would have said experimentation in general is probably a bad thing, and that like you should try and just kind of stick to your core items. But now I think there's like maybe one or two areas where I think it's okay to experiment because it's kind of difficult to get it wrong, and you'll see that coming up. But not everything. So I guess we'll talk about those next. As for these serums, I would repurchase this, and I did like this. The same thing is true for the niacinamide serum. This is one that I also like, and I do feel like I see a noticeable difference with. and it's fairly inexpensive. I know that I've talked with some of you out there, and a lot of you are saying that maybe The Ordinary is not the brand that you see the most results with, or you don't tend to see results from The Ordinary and you like more expensive products. I would say that has been my case as well for a lot of products. And so I decided next time I buy the niacinamide, it's going to be from the Inky list, and I think that's going to be happening in a couple of weeks. So I'll keep you posted on that. I do have some more skincare, but I do want to talk about the product categories I mentioned that are experiments for me. And that is hair care. My budget for my hair care products and my skincare products, it does fluctuate every time I go to make a purchase based on like what's kind of happening that month. So when I went to make this purchase, this is the L'Oreal Extraordinary Clay. This is the conditioner. As far as a product goes, I think this is really great, and one of the better ones I've experienced for my hair type. I have really fine hair, and I do experience oiliness really quickly, and I do think that this line works really well. I probably wouldn't repurchase this next time I run out of a shampoo and conditioner because I'm not a huge fan of the smell, and for me, when it comes to hair care, I really do love a good smell, and that kind of does and can impact my choice. So I did find this formula really nice, and if it smelled different, I probably would actually repurchase this. So I do want to be clear, it's not a bad product. It was just the smell that wasn't what I was looking for. And when it comes to hair care, I was thinking last year that maybe I should try and find my staple and just stick to it. But I really like getting something new and trying something new every time I go to pick up a new product. And in the past, I have maybe had like 4 or 5 different scents like in my bathroom that I juggled between. I used to have some guilt over experimentation for hair care, but because I always use those products to completion, and for me, it's not too difficult to make a shampoo and conditioner combo that I really like, that's kind of a safe bet for me. The next one is this Super Leaves body wash. I got this as a Christmas gift, and I don't buy body wash for myself because I overuse it so easily. I do love the Attitude brand, and I've talked about that. I've talked about them quite extensively on the channel. This is not the scent for me. I am not an orange or citrus person, so while I would buy Attitude in the future, just not this one. I'm also not going to stay here too long because I've talked about this pretty extensively in my no buy update that just went up, so I'll link that video in the description box. I do like this formula. It's the EOS Shave Cream. This one is the Vanilla Bliss scent. It was nice. The problem for me here is this pump. Pumps aren't recyclable, but I guess even more than that, this pump broke on me. This was the second time I repurchased the product, and let me tell you, it takes me years to go through shave products. More than a year, probably more like 2 or 3. This one and the last one, the pumps both broke maybe around the halfway line, which it shouldn't. So that tells me that they don't produce a reliable pump, and so I didn't repurchase this and I purchased something else. And it's kind of a shame that I've had that experience with the pump because this is a really nice formula. And had the pump been effective and didn't break, I would have repurchased it. This one I'm also not going to stay on for too long because it's a prescription, I guess. This is a prescription. It's technically like a retinol derivative. I think it's called Steva A, Stieva. So it's like Steva A. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. This is the second tube I finished, and the first time I finished this was back in like June of 2020. I stopped using this for a while because I thought maybe it wasn't effective. And then I realized that some of my best skin was when I was using the retinol cream. So I finished this, there wasn't a ton left, and so I was really inconsistent when using most of this tube up until about like here. And I have started using it consistently, and I opened up a new tube because I did have one waiting. And so I've been using it for about 3 weeks now, and I do know it takes a little while to see results, and I feel like it's been really beneficial, and I'm definitely going to finish the tube that I really have. I've noticed changes in my skin. And so I've really enjoyed using it, and I use it most nights. I would say I use this product around 4 to 5 nights a week, probably more around the 5 nights. My skin can handle it. My skin has never had an issue handling like retinol products. It doesn't really dry it out too easy. There are some nights where like I know I've over applied it or too many days in a row and it's a little dry, but that doesn't happen all that often. This one's at 1%, and I would consider upping the dose because, like I said, I've had no problems using this product. And one of the things I mentioned the last time this was in an empties, and one that I would love to say again, is that the beauty industry charges a lot for retinol creams, and mine is regular price without insurance, $12.99, about there. And my insurance covered majority of it. I think if not the whole thing. So even if it didn't, I would be paying around $13. And I don't know if retinol cream or retinol derivative that's under $13. So if you have insurance and you can get or go to a dermatologist, if you do have access and it's in the budget, I think it's a great product. But one of the best parts with going to dermatologists is that they might not recommend that particular like retinol derivative. There's a lot out there like tretinoin. And there are also like online services that have especially cropped up in the pandemic, like Felix.ca in Canada. Is basically like a virtual doctor that prescribes like lifestyle medications like retinol and its derivatives. And they often have like free consultations. So that's something that is available as well. I have just a couple more skincare items. The first one is this Cora Organics Under Eye Oil. This was very expensive. This was about $50. The exact price will be on the screen. And I wasn't a huge fan of this because of the fact that it was an oil. So it needed to either go on top of a moisturizing product to work its best, because if I used it alone, it often like wouldn't soak in, so it would like wipe away and my under eyes would feel dry in the morning. And it was $50. It did last a heck of a long time, but it felt like an extra step, and I didn't realize what I was getting into when I bought it, that I would not enjoy it alone. So I have a couple of Derma E products to talk about next. This one is the Derma E Hydrating Night Cream, and then this one is the Vitamin C Intense Night Cream. Out of the two of these, I would say I liked this one the best. This one was very strange. So you'd put it on, and then it would kind of feel like it would tighten and act as almost like a film over your face. Like there was an active dry down, and so it kind of felt like underneath it would be moisturizing, and then there was like this top layer. It was very strange. This one came in a CosBox. I would not repurchase it. I did not like the sensation on my skin. Not a fan. This one was my favorite of the two. The texture was much nicer. However, this one did something weird as well. When you went to go rub it on your skin, it developed like a white cast. So like the first like swipe would be fine, and then as you're like massaging it in, it developed this white cast, which was very weird, and I did not like it either. And I've tried a number of Derma E products over the years, different moisturizers, cleansers, eye creams. I haven't loved anything, and it's kind of a shame because I've heard so many good things about Derma E products, and the way that I've understood them is like one of the more drugstore priced, eco-friendly, socially responsible brands. Like their packaging is glass, as an example, and what do they have on the back here? No GMO, no animal testing, vegan, gluten-free, soy-free, recycled packaging. And there's also stuff about like wind energy. Like they're trying to do a lot, but I have not liked a single product that I've tried for them. It feels like it's time for me to stop forcing myself to try and like the brand when it's clearly not something that I enjoy. So this is like the thing for me. It's like, okay, I think you've learned your lesson. This is just not a brand for you, and not every brand is for you. This product would be like the transitional item between skincare and beauty, and it's the Deborah Lippmann Gel Lab Pro Base Coat. I got this in a set. It was a base coat and a top coat, and there might have been like a nail file or something in there. I'm not totally sure. This I got in a Sephora sale years ago. And this was when I was like, my nails have to be perfect. I need like super expensive nail polish. This completely finished like unusable, and the last 2 times I did my nails screwed them up because it was like super gloppy, not coming out. There was no product left in it. So that one is definitely completed. And the only reason why I wouldn't repurchase this is because it's expensive. I don't know exactly how much it is, but it's Sephora priced. And when it comes to things like this, a drugstore pricing is kind of what I can afford. So, you know, I wouldn't repurchase this. Let's talk about the makeup products now. I want to talk about some lip products first. This is the Smith's Rosebud Salve. It's a Rosebud Salve Balm. It's about $10. They sell this at a lot of places. They sell this at Indigo, at Sephora, I think on Amazon, pretty sure well.ca. This has been everywhere. I didn't really like this. I did not find this moisturizing. This was actually recommended to me by a subscriber. I feel kind of bad not liking it because somebody went out of their way to tell me, hey Shauna, I think that you would really like this. And I didn't, and I hate when that happens. I'm glad you love it, but it just wasn't for me. It wasn't moisturizing enough. And after trying so many lip balms, I think I'm still going to continue trying some because I have not found one yet that's like affordable but moisturizing. That seems kind of crazy. That's such a thing is so hard to find because that kind of seems like that's the essence of what a lip balm is supposed to do. But so many high-end in drugstore. So this one is a pass. It's a decent price, $10. Would not repurchase it. This one, on the other hand, is the Bite Agave Lip Mask. I lost the cap for this somewhere a couple of weeks ago, so not cute. I got this in one of the like, I don't know, like not scented, but one of the flavors. I don't know which one because it's pink, and I'm pretty sure the traditional one is white. This product was kind of difficult to push out. Not as difficult as the e.l.f. ones that is in my project pan. I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on the name of that. It's a stickier formula, and ultimately I like the Laneige Lip Sleeping Balm the best. That's what I decided to buy to replace it. That's what I had before. I have the grapefruit scent now. I really like it, and it's not as sticky, more slippy. And I was able to use these like basically back to back, and I just like, I know that I like that one, and that's just what I have to repurchase in the future. Like that's one where like I know my preference, so why mess with it? Next up is the Maybelline Superstay. It's their pressed powder, the full coverage powder foundation. This was in 120 Classic Ivory. This was okay. I wouldn't repurchase it because I know what my favorite is. It was okay. I didn't love it. And I do remember having some issues with it, like not being as mattifying. And I know what my favorite is, the NYX Stay Matte but Not Flat powder. I will not mess with that ever again. I know what the favorite is, and I kept like trying alternatives. I bought the CoverGirl because I wanted something that was less expensive, because the NYX Stay Matte is like $12 or $13. So if I could get one that like full price is $9.99, you're saving a couple dollars, but I don't like that formula either. So I know the favorite, and this just wasn't as good. All right, this powder. This is the Lawless Seal the Deal pressed powder. This was a mini, and the price on this actually floored me when I looked it up. It was super expensive for a mini. This is a love-hate product. I did not like the like chunks of talc in here. When I talked about this last time in a Project Pan update, a couple of you said that you've had the same experience. Your powder should not be so chunky that you get like pieces of the product on your face. Chunks of talc. One of you said you didn't get light pieces, you got like darker pieces or something of that nature. Not a fan of that. However, having this product in the project pan made me realize that I like a loose powder and that there's a place for that in my routine. I bought a whole bunch of loose powder in 2019 thinking like I had to have loose powder because apparently that's what every makeup collection is supposed to have, when I never used it and never liked it. So now I'm kind of forced to use the products that I bought, and I was dragging my feet about it with the first two. I went through an Hourglass Mini and then this one, and I was like, ugh, like I don't need it, like I don't like it. It's not the same as a pressed powder. And true, I feel like I get more mattification that's more long lasting from a pressed powder, but I really like the loose powder in that I like it as the first step after my foundation to get that initial dry down, because I was really noticing in my forehead that I was getting like the powder that I was putting on was breaking up the foundation. I do get that sometimes still, but it's much less often and much less dramatic when I go in with that loose powder first. This just isn't the right powder for me, but it did introduce me to the world of loose powder and I really like it. The last mascara mini that I own, I still have one more mascara. It's a full size, but not from that mini kit. It was given to me Christmas last year. We'll get to that when it comes into an empty. But this is the last mascara mini that came in that colossal set that I've been using for a year and a half. This is the Sephora Lashcraft Big Volume. This has a bigger, more voluminous one. And I really liked this one at first, but this is one that deteriorated really quickly and I liked it less and less over time. So I would not repurchase this, but a lot of the mascaras I used in the kit were volumizing. I don't know, for some reason, it sounded weird in my head and I was like thinking about it. Anyways, I have come to really appreciate a volumizing mascara, and I do know that I'm a mascara layerer, and maybe that's because I haven't found that like really nice in between mascara. The L'Oreal Telescopic does not provide any volume at all, and it's just like straight length, just the style of the brush. I've talked about a couple of times the mascara I want to buy in the future, or maybe even the second mascara, and I think that the second mascara is going to be the e.l.f. Lash Princess, because that one is more of a natural bristle brush and I typically prefer like the more plastic flimsy brushes, and I think that the Essence Lash Princess will provide more volume to help even out the telescopic. So I think that's a good idea for now, and it's fairly cheap mascara. In the future, I think I need one that kind of does both the lengthening and the volumizing, and there's a couple of options I'm thinking of that might be good for that, but we're talking like 3 to 6 months down the line and not something to really concern myself with right now. Next up is this guy. It is the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in Honey Dude. If you've owned ColourPop products, you know the writing on that stuff just comes off super quick. There's nothing on here. There's no writing at all. So I was super excited when I finished this because I was like, I can use my absolutely famed, loved Marc Jacobs eyeliner. Here's a couple of things that have pained me to admit. One is that it looks like Marc Jacobs is no longer being sold on Sephora. I don't know if that brand is going out permanently or if it's just a Sephora thing. I don't really care to speculate, but Sephora is the only way to get Marc Jacobs in Canada. The website you might be able to order, but like, I'm not about this whole ordering in USD from the US, pay for shipping and handling. No. So it looks like I'm going to have to find something else. And if you were to say that to me, I don't know, like 6 months ago, I probably would have been devastated. But what I realized when I started using the Marc Jacobs eyeliner is that it's super pigmented and very pink. And I have to use like the lightest hand when I use it. I think it's a really great eyeliner formula because of how pigmented it is. But coming from this one that was much more subtle, and I think that the peach color or the nude color on here is nicer. I prefer the nude color over the pink color. I didn't think I would say that. I didn't think that this had any redeeming qualities. Turns out I prefer the color of this to Marc Jacobs. I know I'm gasping inside. I gasped when I first admitted it. I was like, really? Really, Shauna? So I like this color better, and I think that the Marc Jacobs is just a little too pigmented for me. So I learned something great from this, and I'm probably gonna, buy a color like this in the future. Probably not from ColourPop, but something good did come out of this. So thank you, ColourPop Cream Gel Liner. And that's probably the first time I have not completely crapped on the product. Just a couple things left. Next up is the Kosas Wet Lip Oil in Dip. Now, I don't like this formula. It is super drying on the lips when you're reapplying it a few times in a day. And the color doesn't last that long. However, I think this is a really beautiful color, and I kind of miss having it around, at least this color. I don't have anything like this in my collection at all. And I believe that I've over-purchased these brown nude lip glosses and lipsticks, and I've really been craving something much more mauve. Not like pink, but mauve. Both in a gloss and in a lipstick. I have one mini that might fit the bill that was in a project pan last year and something that I want to kind of play around with, but that's about it. And so I am on a no-buy, so I can't buy any more lip products, nor do I think that that's probably a good idea, seeing as how many that I have. But this made me realize I really like that color, and there is probably a cheaper option out there, maybe something to try with the Maybelline Lifter glosses, but just not in this formula. I have two things left to say, and this one is my MAC foundation. This is the Studio Fix Fluid SPF 15. I almost call this the Prolong Wear foundation. I don't know if that exists. I think it must. This is in the shade NC13. It has this for most of the year was a little bit yellow. As I came into the summer, it was working fine. I just would need, if I were to repurchase this, a different color. Now, a couple of things have changed over the life of this product for me. This, for a long time, was like, I think this is one of my favorite foundations, at least one I could see myself repurchasing until I figured out what else I would like to buy or what else is out there, because my favorite foundations, my opinions on them had changed. Well, okay, let me just explain. The Urban Decay All-Nighter was my favorite foundation up until 2020 when I realized it was too heavy for me. At that time, I also had a drugstore favorite, which is the Catrice HD foundation. It's something I'm no longer buying. So I've been needing to find a new favorite, and this was one I purchased in 2019 on a whim. So I really did like this product, used it up, no problems. And when I came to the end, I felt like it wasn't mattifying enough. Like, it was good for most of the year, but not for the summer. I am presently wearing the It Cosmetics CC Cream Matte. This one that is advertised as mattifying, kind of made for oily skin, has way less lasting power than this. And it's now a foundation, I guess, spoiler alert, that I'm only going to wear when I'm filming, and I have no other plans beside that. It has no lasting power. So this one is now looking way better than the one I currently have on. And I also discovered the Charlotte Tilbury foundation recently, which I have loved the most. That one needs more testing. So the pendulum really swung to both sides with this foundation. This one now feels more like middle of the road. It's nice that it has SPF, so it is providing some protection. I don't think anything else that I'm interested in has any SPF in it. I think that it's good, and if I was ever in a pickle, unsure what to buy, or any of the other foundations I was interested in didn't work out, this would be the one that I would buy. But at the moment when it looks like there are other options that I would like better, like the Charlotte Tilbury and the Fenty, I don't think I would repurchase this. There could be a place for this down the line, just not now. The last product I want to talk about is the Essence Make Me Brow. Now this one isn't fully finished, but it is definitely expired. The other day I went to use it and I was looking at the product itself. I don't know how to describe the texture of this now, but it's like brown water. It looks nasty. It feels nasty. It's old. We're talking 4 years at least, and it is definitely expired. So I'm gonna throw this out because it's expired, but I've been using it regularly for over a year now, and I had used it a little bit before, and it's still going strong. So I don't know how much life this had left in it, but I used it for a year. So I don't feel too terrible about that. I just, I wish I didn't wait so long to start using it. So that's everything that I finished for the last 3 or so months. But I finished quite a few things. A lot of skincare. And a handful of makeup products too. Let me know some things that you finished in the comments down below and how you felt about it, because I always love hearing your thoughts about things that you've tried recently too. Thank you so much for watching and being here today. I really love when you hang out with me. If you like this kind of content, conscious consumer content, project planning content, I have some fashion videos coming soon. If those kinds of topics sound good to you, I would really love to have you here. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. So yes, thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you again around here soon.